Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to do something really fascinating. We are objectively mapping out the highly eventful timeline of Donald Trump's life and career. Relying purely on the historical record, we're going to trace a trajectory that is, honestly, by any measure, entirely unique. So let's just jump right in. Okay, let's look at this portrait of a man whose life features some of the most dramatic transitions you could possibly imagine. When we look at this history, we aren't just looking at your standard political career. We're looking at a story that pivots from New York real estate straight into the glitz of network reality TV, all the way to the highest office in the nation. It's this massive, multi-chaptered life that has left an undeniable mark on modern American history. Here is our roadmap for today. We'll be covering 5 distinct eras. 1. Roots in real estate. 2. Reality TV to politics. 3. The first presidency. 4. Defeat and legal battles. And 5. A historic return. Starting off with Section 1, Roots and Real Estate. So, going back to the very beginning, Donald John Trump was born on June 14, 1946, in Queens, New York. After his early education at the New York Military Academy and Fordham University, he graduated from the prestigious Wharton School in 1968. Now, that year is a super vital milestone because it's when he officially joined his father's real estate business, which really launched the era that would define his next several decades. And he didn't just maintain that family business, right? He radically shifted its focus. He expanded into these huge, high-profile commercial projects. We're talking the iconic Trump Tower, massive casinos, and luxury golf courses all over the world. Basically, he fundamentally transformed his family name into a global luxury brand. Which brings us right to Section 2, Reality TV to Politics. You're fired. You know this catchphrase, right? I mean, who doesn't? It anchored a solid decade of television fame on The Apprentice. This single show moved Trump from a well-known New York developer to an absolute household name. It generated a level of immense, widespread public recognition that money simply cannot buy. And here's why that matters. That universal brand recognition, it became his greatest political asset. Back in 2015, he completely bypassed the traditional political stepping stones, and instead he used his massive cultural footprint to launch a presidential campaign. It was a move that totally defied expectations and ultimately secured him the 2016 election. Moving right along to Section 3, the first presidency. Taking office as the 45th president in 2017, his administration wasted absolutely no time. Once they were in the White House, they immediately began implementing a series of aggressive changes, all aimed at rapidly reshaping federal policy and the overall direction of the country. So, what did that actually look like? Well, his domestic and international agenda was built on some highly focused pillars. The administration championed sweeping tax reforms, a massive push for deregulation, and a huge wave of conservative judicial appointments. And on the global stage, that meant aggressive trade negotiations, shifting tariffs, and implementing much stricter immigration policies. But his first term was also defined by this really intense duality. On one side, he drove these highly impactful legislative and policy shifts, but on the other, his term faced unprecedented political friction. This resulted in 2 impeachments by the House of Representatives, with the Senate acquitting him both times. It was an era of, honestly, substantial action and fierce partisan divide. Next up, Section 4, Defeat and Legal Battles. Following his loss in the 2020 election to Joe Biden, a deeply volatile phase began for the country. This included the very significant events at the Capitol on January 6, 2021, and then it kind of spiraled into years that were dominated by a series of complex, compounding legal challenges aimed directly at the former president. And amidst all these legal cases, history was made in an entirely unprecedented way. Donald Trump became the very first former U.S. president to be convicted in a criminal case. And notably, this is the crazy part, this occurred while he was actively campaigning to reclaim the presidency. Just an incredible intersection of the American legal and electoral systems. Which leads us to our final chapter, Section 5, A Historic Return. During the incredibly intense 2024 campaign, a truly shocking and pivotal moment occurred. While speaking at a campaign rally in Pennsylvania in July of 2024, Trump actually survived an assassination attempt. It was a harrowing event that completely jolted the election cycle, and it really underscored the incredibly high tensions surrounding the race.
Ultimately, though, his campaign culminated in a 2024 victory. Returning to power in 2025, he took on a brand new title, the 47th President of the United States. He actually achieved what only one other president, Grover Cleveland, had ever done before in U.S. history, which is serving 2 non-consecutive terms.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a thought. We've just mapped out a sequence of events that totally defies all historical precedent. I mean, from real estate scion to reality TV star to the 45th president through impeachments, legal convictions, an assassination attempt, and a historic return as the 47th. Given all of this, how will history ultimately record and judge this profoundly influential yet undeniably controversial trajectory? Thank you so much for joining me, and keep questioning the history as it unfolds.